Hello student. Today we are going to start a new chapter for class 6. That is, the textbook that we are going to use is both click and enter. And the first chapter that we are going to do is computer and its historical development. I have already prepared a picture of your textbook. This is the first chapter that we are going to learn today. Before starting our chapter, I'll tell you something about a brief history of computer. The one we are going to learn here also. I've made some point here. Look, early computers were only meant to be used for calculation. Means computers that have developed in earlier days, it's only meant to be for calculation purpose only, like mathematical calculation. But nowadays, in today's world, let's see any computer, the one which we are having at our school or at home. We can play games, we can watch movies, we can stream live videos through online. Like this, it's a multi-purpose device. We can do many work by using this computer. But in earlier days, it's been only for meant for calculation. Simple manual instrument like the abacus have aided people in doing calculations in ancient times. Means in earlier days, more than 3000 BC, 3000 years back before Christ. In ancient time, people have been using this abacus. I'll show you the pictures and all later. This way, this abacus. This is there are many pictures of abacus. This is one type of abacus. Like approximately here also, it's invented approximately 3000 BC before Christ. This device in ancient days people have been using for calculation. Before this, people have been using stick or stone, and after some time they have developed a device called this abacus. And after developing this device, calculating device abacus, people have been thinking for more reliable and comfortable devices, and after generation of development, our modern computer has been developed and invented by many scientists. There's a long process coming back from there. Now, history of computers in earliest computer. Originally, calculation were computed by people or human whose job title was computer, like he need to calculate all the mathematical calculation. Humans have been doing this calculation, and for this calculation, one has to prepare himself for a long period of mathematical expression. Like these human computer were typically engaged in calculation of mathematical expression. So before developing this computer, human being or man has been called a computer because that title is going to only meant for calculation purposes, and he has to go under long period of training in mathematical expression. The calculation of this period were specialized and expensive, require years of training in mathematics. So the one who has to be in the title of this job, he has to be in years of training in mathematics and specialized and expensive, and it's a very hard work. Now it's been reduced by using these devices in modern time. The first word of the word computer was recorded in 1613. So the first word computer is been referring for the person who is carrying out calculation or computation, and the word continued to be used in the sense until the middle of 20th century. In the 20th century, the person who has been calculating or doing all the calculation work during the time, this computer word has been started using from this days. So it's not a new word, or you just name it by using this computer while inventing the device. Before inventing the device, this word has been developed many years back. So this was the person before developing a computer device. We used to call it in a person. Now, abacus is the most ancient calculating device known. When we search for olden days, when we search from time to time, abacus is the most ancient device which we found. By using this device, we can calculate. By using this, with the help of this abacus, we can, in ancient days, men used to calculate those mathematical problems and day-to-day life calculation. So nowadays also it's been used in some countries like China and India also. You can find abacus. So let's see. An abacus is consists of wooden frame, rod, beads. Each rod represent different place value. That is the one which we have learned in mathematics. That ones place, tens place, and hundred place, thousands place, and so on. So let me show you the picture. Okay, these are the rod. The one which you can see here, a stick. This is rod, and this is called bead. This is one is made in wooden frame. It can be made in metallic frame also, but this one is made in wooden frame, and these are round shape. These are called beads, and this is called rod, a wooden stick which is in the middle. So like this, it's represent like this, and the place value and so on, and can be moved along the rod. So there is a small space here, so you can move the bead up and down from side to side like that. So by using like that, we can do the calculation. So what are the things we can perform here? Usually addition subtraction can be easily performed by moving the beads along the wire of the abacus or the rod. Look here, by moving this one, this may be the tens place, no, this ones, tens, hundred, thousand, like that. We can do the calculation out here. Or this may be ones, tens, hundred, thousand, like that. And here you can do calculation, plus, minus, into, divide. We can do calculation by using this abacus. So why we are using abacus now? Because if we use abacus, a small device, a simple device, it made a little bit easier while calculating the calculation. So before starting this mathematician, let's see our textual chapter. That is the first one, that chapter number 1, the one we are going to learn is computer and its historical development. In this chapter, what we are going to learn, you will learn about the history of computer, where the computer is developed, generation of computer, different type of generation. This one you have already learned in previous class also. And characteristic of computers, different type of characters according to the generation. Different types of computer. There are different types of computer we will learn later on. This part we have already somewhat we have already learned in previous class also. And software and hardware, this is easy one. Input output device, memory and external storage device. Again in this chapter we are going to learn all this topic. Look, Modern computer is the result of several years of hard work. The one which you are using now at home or at school, that is personal computer, it's not a simple or just a final product. It's been developed for more than thousands years back. It's been developing, and day by day it's developing and more convenient to use. So nowadays also it's been developed and people are searching for a more comfortable and convenient device, smaller and user friendly one, operating system also. So it's not which is made by in a 1 year or one shot. It's been developed for more than several years of hard work by combining person, all the scientists which have developed different device before making this modern computer. Remarkable invention and useful discoveries by a large number of individuals and organizations from all over the world. It's been contributed all the technology and theories from all over the world, and it's been developed. Let's see the first one. The history of computer dates back to primitive time when the needs of computing would have risen for the first time, perhaps in counting kettles. Let's go to the ancient time. So when does this computing start? Counting of numbers. It starts from counting of numbers. In ancient days, when we used to count the kettles, men used to start counting by using stone, stick, or pebbles. So like that, the counting of numbers or kettle had been started from ancient time. Since the man has been trying to create a faster and more accurate and automatic calculating device leading to the creation of modern computer. That's why man used to think for more comfortable. I have already told you before also. Man has been thinking for more accurate and more comfortable and user-friendly one, accurate device for a calculation. So it come to the modern computer at last. So let's see. Look here. Ever since then, man has been trying to create a faster and more accurate previous version that the one from ancient days we are using, let's say for counting kettles and all, they are using this pebble stone and all. When we use stick and all, the pebble, no, when we use stick and all, it used to move away and the number changes and it's not accurate to use those stick and all. So man has been trying to think to more accurate for counting kettles and all. After that they invented a device, first device, that is abacus. Maybe develop more another device in earlier days, but we didn't record that device. For faster and more accurate and automatic calculating device. Automatic means it automatically it without any help from external device, external manpower, used to calculate automatically means by one after another, used to calculate like that. So man has been trying to do such type of calculation for developing new device and all. So after creation multiple device, at last we built this modern computer, lead to the creation of this modern computer. A brief history of computing. Let's see. Look here. A brief history of computing. It is said that necessity is the mother of invention. Look here at the picture also in earlier days. Necessity is the mother of invention. Means when we need something, we used to think, people used to think, men used to think what we need and what are the requirements that we are going to do. So with the requirement, Men used to think and create for a new solution. The same is true for computer. So like that, people used to think and create another device and all, and more device, which is more comfortable. That is the point here. That create faster and more accurate device. At last, used to come this computer. History of computers start with the necessity of early settled man to keep counting of his belongings, especially kettles, like the one which we have already discussed. During this ancient period or ancient time, people used to do kettle calculation and all by drawing or marking the stick or drawing in the wall or floor. Like that they used to do calculation, but number doesn't accurate at all. So that's why they used to think and what they are going to use by counting this pebble and all. It may be also do like that after thinking and after developing they create this device and all. Soon he developed a counting number system and perhaps starting using pebble for counting. Soon after that, with the creation of this counting number system, they have started using this pebble for counting and all, or stick maybe. So in 3000 BC, developed abacus. Chinese people developed this abacus with a record of with the record from the people maybe developed before also. So which is seen as the first calculating device. This abacus is the first calculating device that the mankind has used. So we have recorded this abacus as the first calculating device in our history. It is the first calculating device created by the mankind in 3000 BC, which were developed by Chinese people. This was followed by Napier bones, a manual calculating device in 1617 AD. So after creating this, inventing this calculating device abacus, many people used to create more reliable device. That next one is Napier bones, manual calculating device in 1617 AD. Over the next several years, which run into centuries, people developed progressively smarter calculating device, which were the forerunner of today's computer. Table 1 shows a timeline of the history of computer. In next table, next chapter, next page, we are going to see a table which were developed in different stages. I think this one we have learned in previous class also, but let's revise a little bit. After many years developing progressively, man has developed more reliable than the previous version. That is, more reliable than abacus. Napier Bones has developed this device. So this is John Napier. This picture is at the museum. So Napier Bones is a manual operating calculating device created by John Napier. This is Napier Bones. This is the device. So let's see. I will not tell you about how to calculate this Napier Bones. This we have in our school also in math lab. You can tell your math teacher that he will show you this Napier bone. We have that in school. So in maths, you are going to learn how to calculate this Napier bone. So what are the things we can calculate in Napier bones and abacus? Let's see. In standard abacus, we can use abacus and we can do calculation for addition, subtraction, division, and multiplication. But in Napier bones, by using this device, Napier bone, we can do calculation for multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, and which is more complex than abacus square root. Also we can do calculation by using this device. So this is the picture we have in our textbook also, John Napier. Okay, let's go to the next page. Okay, this is table 1, which we have already. This first one, Chinese people has developed this 3000 BC ago abacus, the first calculating device with a wooden frame, in which we have already discussed this one in that study material. You don't need to note down that study material in your textbook, notebook. Just for reference, I have prepared that one. So after that, after the Chinese people abacus, John Napier, a Scottish mathematician, yes, developed this Napier bone, a manual calculating device. Why is it called manual? And it is not automatically. Manual means we have to look for that. We have to calculate by using this device manually. We have to calculate means by manpower we have to do by ourselves. That's why it is called manual. After that, after John Napier being developed this Napier bones, now next one is Blaise Pascal, a French mathematician, which he has developed is Pascaline, a mechanical calculating device used for addition and subtraction. It can do calculation only this addition and subtraction. That is in 1642. Before that is 1617. There is a year's gap. Between this year's gap, many device has been developed, but only the that is Pascaline, the one which they have shown in our textbook. I'll show you a clearer picture than this one. So this is Pascaline calculating device. This is the same device, same thing. I think this one is later developed than this one. Changes, which we can do calculation only for addition and subtraction in Pascaline. Next is von Leibniz, a German mathematician. He has developed a step after this Pascaline. Step is developed by von Leibniz, a machine that could calculate, multiply and divide, multiplication and division, which can be done in this machine. I'll show you a clear one. This is the device. This is the device which we can do calculation for multiplication and division. I think we need to rotate. There is a handle over here. We need to rotate and result will be shown over here after the calculation. So like this, many people have been creating a more reliable and accurate and more reliable device than the previous version or previous device which has been developed before. Like this, after years back in 1801 AD, Marie Jacquard has developed a Franz Weber which he developed a punch card in looms. Punch card means we have to make a hole. I'll show you. Okay, here I search it in a Google and let's see here. This is Jacquard and this is the device, I guess. This is a punch card device which has been used for calculation, and there is a punch hole in this paper or metal which we have to do the calculation here in 1801. Like this, with the punch over here we need to calculate. There must be a sequence of punching hole. So with the calculation of this or counting the number of punch which has been done in this paper or metal, we will get the answer of the calculation. What are the calculations that we can do in this punch card? We can calculate addition, subtraction, multiplication and division in this punch card in looms. Look here in this piece of paper, there is a number out here and there is a hole. Like this, we have to make a hole by using this device, and we need to calculate by looking at this hole and collecting the data. We need to calculate the result. So we will not discuss about how is it calculating or how we are going to calculate. So like this, by using this type of card, punch card, we are going to calculate the calculation. So next one is Charles Babbage. Next devices which were developed by Charles Babbage in 1822. First one is difference engine. Why Charles Babbage is called a father of computer? He is an English mathematician. Why we call him as a father of computer? Because the one which he have developed, that is difference engine, it's different from the previous version of device. Previous device means this punch card, step reckoner, and Pascaline, Nepia bones or abacus, maybe earlier version of device. It's because in difference engine we can calculate a bigger number of calculation, bigger number of data, and it's accurate than before. So from this device, the computing or the calculation has been more accurate, and we can it's more accurate than the previous version. So Charles Babbage is also known as the father of computer, which he has developed this difference engine, and he has been working on developing another device that is called analytical engine. But unfortunately, he could not finish this analytical engine. Later on, his uh, colleague has completed this analytical engine. So your homework is like, how did Charles Babbage die? You can pass away. You can search it and you can tell me later on. That is in 1833, Charles Babbage trying to develop after developing this difference engine. Look at the year gap between 1822 to 1833. There's a year's gap which he has been developing this analytical engine. So it's been more accurate and more reliable than the difference engine. So he is trying to develop another device. From this, we call him as a, or we know, wish to call him as a father of computer. Next after this, Lady Ada Lovelace, which is also a mathematician and a writer, English mathematician and a writer. She was the first programmer. The first programming language Ada is named after her. So, programming language. What is programming language? Now, we need to think that the device which we have been developing, so it can be automated or we need to program. You can give the program that you need to do after this one. After completing the task, you have to do this task after finishing the first one and second one and third one. Like that, we need to do our programming or we need to program the device. So in 1887, this lady Ada Lovelace has developed a programming language that is called Ada, and for the first time in human mankind, the programming was developed from here. So she is also known as the first programmer in our history. So I'll brief here a little bit about programmer. What she has developed. What is programming language? Look, first, programmer. Programmer used to develop the command. The programmer has to give the command to the machine or device, which they have to build a language which is known by the device. So she has developed this algorithm for the machine, for the device, which have to be given to the device and to the calculation after one after another. So she has written first written a algorithm for the device. That is why it is called the first programmer. So nowadays in programmer also, it's same thing. Programmer has to give the command to the computer, and we have to develop. Programmer has to develop or give the command for that program. Give the instruction to the computer or device. So programmer work is to give the instruction to the computer or the device. They have to write that instruction. So before writing instruction, we need to develop first algorithm for the calculation or the work which you are going to develop. So that algorithm is first developed by this lady Ada Lovelace. She is also known as the first programmer. That's why she is also called the first programmer. After that, in 1887, so this statistician used to collect data and analyze all the data that is they used to collect and analyze this numeric data that has been for the calculation purpose. Used to collect all the data and analyze in large quantities, especially for this purpose of calculation. So what he has done, he has developed a device that is called tabulating machine, a forerunner of IBM in US. So he has developed this tabulating machine which has been device. So this tabulating machine is to assist and summarize the information stored in the punch card, which were developed by Herman. So it summarized all the information which were stored in punch card. The one punch card we have, which were developed in before this difference engine or analytical engine, that is by Jacquard. This one, Mary Jacquard has developed this punch card loom. With this punch card, which were developed by Herman, another punch card system used to assist in summarizing the information which were in the punch card. And this machine was developed to help the process data. And later on, this model, which were developed by this IBM in USA, which are widely used for accounting purpose and inventory control. So it was developed like this. Later on, after this one, in 1943, Howard has developed Mark I computer for the first electromechanical computer. This is Mark I has been very famous. I'll show you a clear picture. This American mathematician Howard he has developed this Mark I. Okay, let me show you. This is the picture of Mark I in 1943. So look here, this electromechanical computer, it's more than 50-meter long. Look here, it's a long computer, 15-meter long and containing more than 7,50,000 components. It contains more number of components, small parts, which has been made up this device and used for a ballistic calculation during the World War II. Also, it's been used during the wartime also for calculating purposes, different type of situation. So, like this, many devices have been developed after Charles Babbage's difference engine, tabulating machine, Mark I computer. Mark I is the first electromechanical computer, which were developed by IBM. So after all, what we have learned, Let's see, let's summarize. First one is abacus. After that, John Napier developed this Napier bone. After that, Pascaline. After that, Step Bruckner. After that, Punchcard. And after that, the change in the entire history made by these two devices. First one is difference engine and analytical engine later on. And programming language has been developed during this 18th century, that is in 1887. And after that, tabulating machine was been developed, invented, and later on Mark I. So later chapters we will discuss in later class. So in Mark I computer, why is it called electromechanical computer? This is the first device. In previous device, Pascaline and all, tabulating machine, difference engine, analytical engine, why is it not called the electromechanical uh, device? In this device, electricity is being used for calculation purpose. That is mechanical device which is electrically operated. It's been electrically operated. Electricity is being used in this device. That is why it is called electromechanical computer. But in earlier device, that is tabulating machine and difference engine, analytical engine, and this was Punchcard, Step-Bruckner, Pascaline, Napier bones, and abacus and all. We don't use electricity. That's why it is not. It is doesn't call this electromechanical computer. Mark 1 is the first one which developed by Edward. It's called the electromechanical computer. See you in next class. Thanks for watching.